We can make it like a supervillain who has like a legitimate point, which is where they're just like, but they can also be a fun, fantastical character. Like, I'm so sick of politicians lying to me and everybody. I want the truth.
And I'm going to use the only reliable source of detection.
A polygraph.
A polygraph.
A polygraph that physically moves like it's a 50s machine.
Yes.
It's his voice doing the effect.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Phibb, but you can call me Doodle-Doodle-Doo.
It's like when you do butt stuff and it's not losing your virginity technique.
Yeah, and what is like the dry humping thing?
Yeah.
It's lots of workarounds in Christianity. Well, we're talking about Christianity a lot on this podcast because last week there was a lot of Christian talk.
There's a whole episode on it. Literally, our short film was very Satan versus Christian.
Good for you guys. Yeah. You guys we're going to get to the pearly
We're finding the light.
We are finding the light.
Podcast.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. Well, today, finding the light with us is actor, writer, showrunner, father, funny man, Miguel Rivas.
Also a power forward and a center when I play basketball.
Oh, shit, no way.
Oh, also a power forward.
You play basketball?
I play every Tuesday. I've played every Tuesday
like
for
pickup?
7 or 8 years. Yeah, in the same league. I played basketball my whole life. I was in the what was it called? The OBA, the Ontario Basketball Association when I was younger.
But are you in a league right now, or is it like
I'm in a league?
pickup?
Yeah.
What
Tonight
league
is actually the first game of the organized league.
Nice.
The guy who runs our pickup league
was like, let's make it.
He's so A-type personality that like we have a long-term pickup league where it's just like, who can come play? Let's all play. But now he is like every 4 months we're gonna do a 2-month thing where I'm gonna print jerseys, hire refs.
I love that,
wow.
man.
He hires a stat person to come sit there and like take all the stats.
Okay,
shot attempts and everything. Like
that
it's too intense though.
Well, no, I'm in a league that does that, but you can just find a league that does that though.
Oh no, but he would never want someone else to be in charge of that.
But they have like a whole stats thing and highlight clip. They have highlight clips.
Okay, he also makes highlight clips.
That's insane. So if he's smart, he'll make
film. So he has 2 cameras set up on tripods that are just still, but he like cuts them together.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, he should, if anything, he should turn it into a business because there's like 3 leagues already that exist that do that. But
Mega City Basketball. I played in that league.
Okay.
That was one of them.
And what's this one called? Does it have a name for it?
We call it the Galleria because we play at Galleria Mall at the Wallace Emerson Center.
Yeah.
So I think it's called like the Galleria Invitational. Slick, cool name.
Classic.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I love that. Power forward and center. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I play. Oh, what power forward?
Position?
Yeah, I used to play center a lot, but like I was finally on our team. We got someone that's like 6'4".
Yeah.
He should be center because I'm not that big. I'm like 6, but it's like
Yeah, I'm like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah. Well, that's usually what you become a center in like these leagues, right?
I was this tall when I was 11 or 12, so that's how I got into basketball, and I was trained as a center. But then I should have done other like anything.
Dude, same. Like I was 5'11" when I was in grade 8.
Yeah,
and at that age,
you're like, you're a goddamn giant.
Yeah, and I felt amazing. I'm like, yeah, I'm a center.
You're a goddamn Murphy giant.
And then I only grew by 1 more inch over the next decade. Yeah. And then I stayed a center, even though at my height, you should totally be like a point guard or something, you know?
I went to what's this? Is it called Science North, the Science Center at the Big Nickel in Sudbury?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I did that, and there was like projections of height, and I was projected to be 6'7" or 6'8".
Wow.
And when did you find, like, was that?
I was like, it was in like 6th or 7th grade, something like that. I forget. But then I had this is too much information for you guys. This is too deeply.
We're almost done. The podcast is almost
great. But I had horrible nightmarish acne, like super young, because I was growing so fast and hitting puberty.
It was just like skyrocketing. Yeah.
That they were like, we do not recommend Accutane for people under 16 years old, but brother, you need it. And it immediately stunts your growth.
Oh,
it's like if you take Accutane, you never grow again.
You would have been 6'7" otherwise.
I don't know, but I probably would have been a little bit taller.
The science center's never wrong.
It took like 4 inches off you, something like that.
They took 5 inches from me.
God damn it!
I gotta get it back.
Look at that skin, though. I mean, knock on wood.
Yeah,
That's good skin.
You know what?
That's some beautiful. It was worth it. Would you rather be 6'7" with acne? That's a good question. Would you rather be 6'7" with acne or 6'1" with the clearest skin?
Well, think about this. If you do 6'7" with acne, there's makeup. And there's other like there's effortful options that you can cover yourself up or you can
but you can't fake height.
But the world isn't.
There's no makeup for height.
You get those frightening, terrifying leg extension surgeries that people get.
Right. But
they get their bones.
Yeah.
A tragic counterpoint though is the world's not made for people that tall.
It's
like
true.
You'd be ducking to get into the doors. I shot this job once where this dude, he was the second tallest man, like second biggest man in Canada. or the tallest man in Canada, second biggest hands in the world. He was second only to some guy in Turkey. But he was changing. We were doing a wardrobe thing. It was like a low budget job. So we were doing it like he was changing in a washroom at an office, which was like,
he got stuck in the washroom.
Well,
and the whole spot became that.
Yeah, basically. The whole spot was about a big man in a small space, but like the bathroom was probably not much bigger than 2 of these tables. But he was in there trying on these big like one-piece tunics and stuff. By the end of his wardrobe fitting, the bathroom was like someone got like the hottest shower for
just
hours.
Steamed
like,
up.
It was just, it wasn't even steam. It was like wet. Like someone fucking hosed it in there. But this boy just runs hot. Like he runs hot and he had to duck through every fucking door frame.
I'm 6'2" and I feel like the world isn't even built for me. Like I'm very uncomfortable.
I feel like your height keeps increasing by an inch every time you say it.
I'm 6'3.5". It's crazy.
No, well, like are we talking? I'm 6'9", guys.
Well, are we talking in the morning or at night? Once you're lying down, your spine extends. Right. And are we talking pre or post leg?
And someone also
leg
pulling
extension
you.
surgery in Turkey.
Yeah, and it's also someone pulling you from both sides. Which one are we talking about?
Yeah. Like, how much would you pay to be like drawn and quartered, but in like a cosmetic way?
Right.
Drawn and quartered?
Like it's where they tie a horse to your limbs and rip you to pieces.
But
I'm tall now.
They wouldn't rip you to pieces. They just do it to the point where they separate your bones and then they heal.
Yes, you die, but you get that blissful
you die
moment.
At 6'7".
The size of that fucking coffin. Ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby.
That's why they stopped drawing and quartering people, because the coffins were just too big.
Yeah.
Expensive. Yeah.
Big.
See, my thing is, and I know it's not as easy as this, but if you're over 6'5", if you're 6'6",
this is what I'm supposed to be prompt writing, isn't it?
I mean, if
you can. We can do it between segments too.
I got it.
We're gonna do a pause for the segment so you could.
I got it.
If you're 6'6" or beyond, and I know it's not as easy as this, but I feel like you were saying, like the world's not made for this. You have to be in sports. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you should be in sports if you're 6'6" and beyond, because it's like like you said, the world's not made for people that tall. So might as well take advantage of like.
You might as well take it to the court.
Whoa.
Well, there's that big dude who like played. He I think he was the xenomorph in the new Alien. He's also a really tall basketball player.
Yeah. He was an actor you're talking about?
I think he like went into acting.
Yeah. I saw a picture, behind the scenes picture of, I think that's what you're talking about.
Is it Boban?
No.
Because he was in John Wick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
Oh, Alien.
Yeah. But he was also in
John Wick.
Robert. Robert
Have you seen Hustle?
Bobatsky.
The
I
Adam
have
Sandler?
seen Hustle. Hustle was pretty decent.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah,
right.
I like when Adam Sandler does sports movies, like Longest Yard. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love Longest Yard.
Robert Bobatsky.
Oh yeah, this guy.
He's like massive, right?
He's so big,
and he definitely moves like a normal person.
yeah. But like that dude, it's like, okay, well, you basically have to get good at basketball because you're going to dominate if you do. You know?
Also, what else are you going to work at a call center? Like, imagine like fucking 8 feet tall and you're just like, I don't know, man.
Is his ear so far away from his mouth that he needs like a bigger phone?
Yeah, holy shit.
Such an inappropriate conversation for me.
Maybe.
Well, it's also,
but I am genuine. Yeah, I think
also, how do you see height? Your ear and mouth would stay the same no matter how tall you are. Your mouth isn't on your belly button, so even if you're 8 feet tall, your ear and mouth, I'm sure it's still the same distance apart.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm sure this person wouldn't like this conversation as a whole, but I'm approaching it as a place from curiosity. You know, I'm just curious because I think the world would be very hard.
We're just very
no.
curious.
I just think it would be a very hard life to go through that. But it's nice that you can fucking play some b-ball and
But then
dunk on
also
Shaq.
there's a thing in b-ball where if you're too tall, you move in a way that people are like, you can't run with the guys anymore.
Well,
right.
You lose athletic. Like you're like, I know that guy. I've seen him, and like he can't run full speed. Like
right.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like I'm not, because it's not like, oh, you're tall, you're good at basketball. There's so much, like Wembanyama.
I'm an example of that. I'm 6'10", and I can't dunk.
We should Justin do a counter every time he mentions his height in the edit. But it's like Wembanyama, like he's huge, but they show how much he works out and trains and like works on his shot and what?
Does yoga.
Yeah, all those things. Like you can't just be tall and just show up. You know what I mean? It's so that's 6'6" and above. And if you need to still have the drive, but I'd basically be like, yo, put all your drive into sports, man.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to be living in a world that just doesn't appreciate your height.
Yeah, I tried to do sports. I played basketball for a little while. Found out the optimal position for me is audience member.
Oh, are you starting audience member?
Yeah, usually they're pretty early. Yeah.
And yet you're still on the bench somehow?
Exactly, yeah.
The only position where you're starting but still on the bench, yeah.
It's
Can you sit
humiliating.
way in the back?
Yeah.
No more?
Yeah.
A little bit more? Almost there. Further back?
You guys know how it feels to be me.
Yeah.
just a average.
Did you play any
average type
sports
person?
growing up?
I played
Like,
hockey.
what's your sport? Okay, there you go.
I played basketball, hockey. I was
If
told.
you're tall, you got to play basketball. If you're white, you got to play hockey. That's really
That's
well,
right.
if you're from like basically Canada or like especially East Coast, you play hockey. But I was in squirts and novice, I think.
I
But
don't think
like
you can say that on this podcast.
everyone's parents told them how to play hockey. My parents weren't athletic. No, I didn't know a thing about
Right,
hockey.
yeah.
And they're like, "Hey man, I get to novice. They're like, you're left wing," and I'm like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "What the fuck?" You like, I got made fun of so hard, and I like the puck would be in my end, and I just put it in the net, and they're like, "It's offsides. You gotta like."
Yeah, but I got it in the net.
I'm
yeah.
like, "What does that mean?" And no one would tell me. And then one day, I'm like, "Am I going to hockey today?" And my parents are like, "You
You're
quit hockey.
good. We're good.
You quit. It's all good."
Yeah, you quit. They didn't kick you off. You quit. Yeah,
And then I got beat up, or I didn't get beat up, but I got pushed on the court as a basketball player. This
you were, like, done.
this big tall dude who was like, failed a couple years. I think maybe I
Oh.
told this story to you before.
No.
But he was like falling backwards with the ball, and I was like the ball was like right here in front of my face. I'm like, oh, there's the ball.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna-
did tell me
I
this,
take
yeah.
the ball and I go to the court and I grab the ball and I went to go to the other side. And then he's like, "You grabbing me, man." And he pushed me down on the court, and I was trying to act cool. And I stood up and then I tripped over a guy who was tying his shoes. Needless to say.
You were retired that day. From
It's a real Mr. Bean routine.
Yeah. I was just
And
trying
then
to
you're
make
like, I think I'm gonna go into comedy from that.
I'm
Well, like-
picturing you in the Mr. Bean suit playing basketball.
Yeah, and I'm like pulling out a
I'm
little.
loving what I'm picturing.
You're like, you're playing center, and I just pull a fish from a plastic bag and like wiggle it around.
Thank you.
Just try and make a sandwich.
And then you have your little teddy bear, Mr. Bean, that you're watching you, like prop
Yeah.
him up nicely on the bench.
Exactly.
He's like,
Am
yeah.
I the first 7-footer on the podcast? Just came to mind. I might be.
I think so.
Yeah.
We're breaking records today.
I don't know who was on every single episode, but it's
No,
possible.
no 7-footer yet. Yeah.
No
Congratulations,
7-footer.
man.
Thank
Yeah.
Really
Thanks
big.
for getting me a very small chair. so
Yeah,
that
you're doing
we
really well. You can't even
look
tell.
eye to eye.
We did the forced perspective thing. Miguel's actually in the deep living room right
Yeah.
now.
We have to shout really to
Yeah.
talk to him off the mic.
I'm yeah, but instead of making me look giant, you're just trying to make me look regular.
The
That's what
opposite.
the forced
Yeah,
perspective
yeah,
is for. We don't have hobbits or giants. We're just all trying to
Yeah.
look like the same dude,
Equality,
so no one
man.
has an
Balance
advantage.
Forced
Yeah.
perspective for equality. So, sorry, I had to just quickly because we should get out of this section because it's all become sports and nonsense now. But when I was younger, because the hockey thing, like you didn't know how to like what to do. So I learned like every sport that I play through video games. Like I didn't
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
understand it at all. So I'd like get MLB The Show. I'd get 2K. And I learned this because I showed up to baseball like practice. It's rec league, so everyone's on the team already. I'm like 12, and I liked the idea of this sport. And they go, okay, so in the first practice, they're like, okay, go stand in your first primary position you'd want to play. And there's 9 positions in baseball: pitcher, third base, shortstop.
Everyone stands on the mound.
No, I just go and I'm like, I didn't understand what that question meant. So I just went and stood in between shortstop and left field because I'm like, I like this position, this area of the field. And they're like,
If you smash button out here,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what position are you playing? I'm like, oh, until then, I didn't even know what a position was.
Right.
So to me, it was like, I'm just going to stand. This is the latitude and longitude of the position where I'm going to stand. And then when I
what
got
do you mean what
embarrassed.
position?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Where the ball goes. And that's when I had to go buy MLB and be like, I got to learn this because I was embarrassed.
I also learned through video games, but it was hard to learn in one of the sports I played. It was hard to learn curling because there wasn't a curling 2K. There's not a PlayStation.
Is there one now?
There's no,
There
there's
must
no
be now.
curling 2K.
There should be
There's no
curling
curling.
2K.
There must be.
Who hasn't done that? 2K
For the
get on
Wii,
it.
the Wii would be great because it's got
Yeah.
the motion control thing.
Yeah, but it looks wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or not wrong, but suggestive.
I think
Suggested.
someone started
Not
that.
wrong, yes. Hey,
Someone
don't yuck
started-
someone else's yum.
They developed that tech and then it just moved into porn immediately. They're like, no.
Yeah.
This
The
is
first meeting they were doing
They're like,
it.
okay, we got a better idea.
The curling team.
Curling actually has a lot of suggestive like positioning. Like when you kick off to release the rock, you got to get in that deep
Yeah,
plunge.
yeah.
It's so
Do you,
hot.
do you actually play it?
I played curling for many years growing up. Yeah, I
I've
played
ne-
from like
I-
age 11 till 15 or 16.
Wow.
I still
And
don't
I
understand
got
it.
kind of good. But I was very poor growing up, and I had I'm telling you guys everything about my life.
This is great.
And I had a big brother because I was like a single parent family, and we were so poor, but he was not poor, and he was like, and his passion was curling. So he's like, "Hey, I signed you up for curling," and I remember literally being like, "Nice. What is
What is it though? You got curlers.
yeah.
You're ready, yeah.
And then I played for years, and I got really into it, and then I stopped having a big brother because he moved away. And then I was like,
Oh.
"Hey, Mom, when's the next curling season?" She's like, "Never. It's so
Oh.
expensive."
Right.
Oh, sorry. Capital B, Big Brother.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Oh,
not my
okay.
actual big brother.
Yeah.
The like program big brother.
Okay, when you said I had a big brother, I thought it was a sadder story.
No.
Okay,
I
you
have
had
a big brother. He's
yeah.
alive and well.
Okay.
Shout out to Francisco Rivas.
Well, that's crazy. So he actually like this because I don't know how that program works. So he got you into curling.
Yeah.
And took care of it and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
It was
That's
cool. It was a cool setup.
That's
pretty
great.
badass.
Yeah. Big Brother is a good program. Shout out to Big Brother program.
Hell yeah. Today's episode is brought to you by Big Brother.
They're watching.
Curious
the
about
wrong-
curling?
Oh, no, there's too many Big Brothers. One of them needs to rebrand.
Right.
Which one do you mean? You mean your sibling?
Or was the government
Or
taking
you
you to
mean the
curling?
fucking government.
Was the government taking
Or
you
is
to
it a
curling?
reality show?
Or, do you-
Yeah.
or there's a TV show, or is it men who are giving out of the kindness of their hearts every
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon to help a disadvantaged child?
Yeah.
One's more entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's the good men.
All right, shall we move to the
Let's move
prompts?
on. Let's
All
move
right.
on.
The prompt.
All right, I'm gonna. How many did you write?
I wrote however many pieces of paper.
I think there was 5 in there.
5.
Okay. Oh, these are long too. I like that. I like when they're like longer prompts from
Yeah.
the guests because it's like
I try to non-judgmentally write them.
Nice.
Also, watch how bad my writing is. It's going to shock you to death.
everyone always says that, and it's still better than mine. It pisses me off. They're like, "Oh, I have chicken scratch." I'm like, "It's poetic, man." Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. All right, we got today as a prompt lie detector.
Lie detector. Ooh.
I kind of really quick. What made you think of that while during the?
I kept lying about my height.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So I thought,
That's a very. I mean, this is a very fresh prompt. I've never
Yeah.
done something close to this. All right, let's do it.
that sounds like, oh, this is interesting. In the back of your head, you're like, fuck.
What are we gonna do with this? No, okay. Well, okay. Does any movie come to mind right away?
Fire in the Sky. Because
What is that?
Fire in the Sky is based on a true story by this guy Travis Walton, who was out with his logger friends, and he was abducted by aliens, disappeared for a week. His friends were all being blamed for his murder. They all passed the lie detector test. They're like, this motherfucker was out there. There was a big thing in the sky. He was interested in it, and he got out, and it fucking zapped him, and we got the fuck out of there. That's the story. Never changed. They were not. They were. Some were friends. Some were like not really friends. So people were like, oh, maybe they killed him. This dude shows up. A week later, they find him. He's like, hey, I was abducted by aliens. And now he's like one of the most famous UFO experiencers ever. He writes books.
Oh, shit. So it's a true story.
So the movie,
true story,
it's a
and
true
it's-
story. And the movie,
And
the
this
book
guy
is
says
called
aliens
Fire.
are real.
The book is called Fire in the Sky. I've got it over there. It's autographed.
By that guy?
By
By an
Travis
alien.
Walton.
By an
Yeah,
alien.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
But
Allegedly.
these guys all
Prove
passed
it.
the lie detector test, saying that this man was abducted by aliens, and no one believed him.
Oh, wow.
And but the lie detector is notoriously unreliable.
I already know your answer. Do you guys both believe in aliens?
I think mathematically they must exist.
Yes,
I don't think they're here, but
I think my idea of aliens might be more nebulous than the nuts and bolts idea of things from other planets. I think about other dimensions.
I
think
picture
about
like
reality.
sexy green, big-breasted aliens in silver.
I like his version
short
better.
dresses.
This is too much intellectual. I
Like
like his
50s style.
Yeah.
They're basically cocktail waitresses from the 50s, but they're green.
They're green. That's the only difference. Yeah.
There's a guy who was abducted by aliens a lot. What's his name? And he keeps no, that's not it. He keeps
That's a big breasted
he
alien.
draws aliens with really big boobs.
Real quick, what did you just say? This guy just keeps getting abducted? Like
no,
that's his
this is a
thing?
different guy. This is
No, but this guy just keeps getting
Uh,
abducted. This guy just said he does. Like, is that what it is? His shtick?
he this guy was like multiple abductions, and he's like forced to have sex with these like alien face but like beautiful women, and they're like trying to steal his semen and stuff, and he paints them, and people
And there's like he's real, and he's like his interviews and says this is what happened to him.
yeah.
Man, they keep getting. They want to fuck me so bad. That's what
Oh.
it's.
Sorry, I
The whole
didn't
thing
mean
is like
to.
aliens just want me really bad.
I wish I could find this guy's name.
Now I can't come unless
Yeah.
an alien is
Unless I get
begging,
probed.
begging me for sex.
Poor guy.
Let's not.
What a
yuck
specific-
Yeah,
somebody's yum.
we can get away from aliens though, but that's lie detector makes you
That
think
should have
of
been the
that
problem.
stuff.
What?
Lie detector just makes you think of aliens. We should maybe get away from
I
that.
do. I mean, why not? We could do
I
some
don't-
alien
all
shit.
right, okay.
We
I
could
don't
do
have
that.
any aims on my prompts. Wherever it leads.
We could do the opposite too, right? An alien having a lie detector on his planet.
Mm.
Switch
Yeah,
it
what's
up.
the alien version? Maybe that's what the probes are. The anal probes are lie detectors.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Check your body heat.
Yeah, no, that's why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's excruciating every time.
What does lie detector make you think of?
I can't think of Meet the Parents popped up. I was like looking into movies.
Yes,
Meet the Parents is a scene where De
Right.
Niro, does die with him. I just
Both lie detector movies.
I literally said it. I just saw this show. I think I
What?
brought it up on the podcast. Have you guys heard of The Paradise?
No.
Or Paradise, I think it's just called. It was with Sterling Brown. Really good show. It starts with the president's been murdered.
Oh, we've been talking about this a lot.
Yeah, I'm honestly check it out, man. It's a good show. And in the second episode or something, they do a lie detector to make sure that his bodyguard, who the main character is in the show, didn't do anything or have anything to do with the murder of the president. That's the last thing I saw with lie detector that came to mind.
Interesting.
Isn't there a lie detector scene in Richard Jewell? Did you guys see Richard Jewell?
I didn't
with
see it.
Paul
Sam Rockwell?
No.
And he's a lawyer, Sam Rockwell.
Oh, wait.
It's Paul. You're talking about Paul
Walter
something.
Hauser.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Yes,
That,
yes.
first
that
of all,
movie's
that dude.
great.
Yeah, it's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood. It's the last.
It's a
actually
good
Clint
movie.
Eastwood.
I haven't seen, what is Second Juror or something? The new one?
David Huggins. Sorry, the guy's David Huggins.
David
the,
Huggins.
the big boobed alien guy.
The big poop.
You're still on that.
I really
you just wanted to look at big boobs.
Yeah.
I just
Research.
see. Look at this shit.
That's someone in Kiss makeup. that's just someone doing jeans.
Everyone, Google David Huggins. And,
I just searched like
Punish me
movies
later.
with lie detector on it. This is a cool thing. There's a documentary done about 15 years ago called The Lie Detector, and it delves into the history of the polygraph, exploring the inventor. And that just made me think the guy who thought of that and how he came up with it. There's something interesting there.
So
and they're not accepted in court in any
not
capacity, right?
anymore. I don't think they've been proven too unreliable, but it measures a person's heart rate / blood pressure, respiration, and skin conductivity.
But there's so much of that could just there's so much circumstance there that could make those right.
Yeah. It just doesn't. It says it cannot actually test for honesty. So that's the thing. Like you can be a really good fucking liar and be like, my skin's not going to change or my breathing's not going to change, and I could tell you that I'm 8 feet tall. But
I wasn't going to get ridiculous, Jono.
But
7 feet. That's what he capped it at. Yeah.
but someone like me who might be like nervous to lie might get a little flush or something.
It's like the first layer of security where it's like the obvious liars will get taken out.
Yeah,
you know
it's like
what I mean?
stick your tongue out.
Yeah, it's like interrogation scenes where they just like yell at them and they go like, "Did you do it? Did you do it?" And the guy's like, "Fine, I did it." And I'm like, it'll work on that guy, but not on a lot of guys or people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
No,
it's just
I love those scenes in movies that never happen in real life where someone's like, I didn't do it. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Where they like Primal Fear.
Yeah.
With
my
Ed
God,
Norton, where then
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, I was lying the whole time.
Or was it Kaiser Soze?
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey.
Whereas like more people just will never give up the game, right? They're
Well,
like,
the
even
version-
when they're like shown facts, they'll still be like, no, I didn't do it.
If you're a sociopath,
Here's
what?
video of you doing it. They're like, I didn't do it.
Well, have you seen Adolescence?
Yes.
That scene, because I agree with what you're saying, but then sometimes when shows do it that well, like Adolescence, where he's like, I didn't do it, or I don't know what they're talking about, and then they show him footage
Of him
and
killing.
you can just see his
Spoiler.
and his body just like change, you know, like the body
Yeah.
language changing, and it's like, what would happen if someone just catches you in a lie, or like shows you stuff, or like even like some kind of evidence, like we found a size 12 shoe print, wouldn't you kind of like just the pressure of it kind of succumb to it?
I know how I would react. I would be like, no, I didn't. Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
I want to
Oh
live
my-
that moment. You know what else Lie Detector made me think of? I don't know if we have to move on already. but
No.
Lie Detector makes me think of those shows like Lie to Me with Tim Roth or The Mentalist that was so popular for a long
like,
time.
Kind of like a little like Sherlock too.
Yeah,
where he
sure.
can
Yeah.
Just like, oh, you're sweating and this
Yeah.
happened and
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
running
yeah.
for the band, yeah.
The close up of the bead of sweat.
What was it called? Deduction? Is that what they're
Mhm.
doing?
Deductive logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But Tim Roth's thing is like, that's a fun character, is like the guy who's like, especially with the British accent, like, he's lying, doesn't know what he's saying over there. Like, how do you know he's doing it? Like, well, look, he's shifted his toe. Shifted his toe when I talked to him. So let's go.
That's how, isn't he?
Let's go. Can we get this job
And he's a
done?
fully innocent dude. He's like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about. No,
yeah.
you did it.
Yeah.
That's funny. If we want to get a comedy, it's a lie detector like Tim Roth, but he's horrible at it. Like Naked Gun.
Yeah,
but
he's
where's the
just
guy-
bad at it.
Oh, you know what that is? Have you seen Pink Panther with Steve
Yes.
Martin?
Yeah.
Where JJ does this all the time. It's like thing where he hears footsteps down the hallway and he's like, It's like, and he's like, size 7 heels. Woman wearing a dress, and he just describes her, and it's like a fucking soccer coach that comes out wearing like cleats, and then he goes, "Do you have a size 7 bumps in your bag?" Like as if he still is right. So we can make a basically Naked Gun lie to me.
What would happen if the Jim Carrey from Liar Liar was hooked up to a lie detector test?
He would pass.
He would pass.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
The whole shtick
Moving
is
on.
fucking lie, yeah.
Moving on.
He would pass. He would pass.
That's our film is just one page. Just right away.
It's a silent film, and it's 20 seconds
They're
long.
just like Jim Carrey sits down, answers one question, they give him a thumbs up, and he leaves.
Like, this guy's
Cut to black.
telling the truth.
And then he turns his head back and he goes, "Yes, I did."
Yes, I did. I didn't do it unless I did.
We're basically doing the blue sky part though. Should we go on to it?
Yeah, let's move on. We'll figure it out.
Blue sky.
Sick.
I don't know why I
Love that.
jut my lower jaw out when I do it. Blues,
Yeah.
I love how even for the blues guy, you're like, oh, I got to do it. You did the first innocent face. You get into it, you're like, we should. Okay, I think
It's the moment before.
that's what makes it.
Okay,
That's,
that's how it is. That's
Yeah.
what you learn in acting. What's the moment before you walk on stage?
Are you a trained actor?
I went to theater school, yeah,
Oh, that's
for 4 years.
You've had your,
But like
your
100 years ago.
did you have your gait, like the way
You're
you
7 feet
walked
tall
and
and
the
you're
way you
100 years
speak,
old.
like beaten out of you? Like, were you?
Oh yeah, I used to. I like pushed back on so much of what theater school was about that way because it was like now I see a bit more of the logic. But I was so when you're like 19, you're like I know everything about what I want to do, and then,
Yeah.
and then so someone telling you anything that is against your thing, you're like fuck that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like there used to be a thing where they would like, okay, stand. This exercise is just stand there, and they'd stand there, and then someone would be like, bullshit. Like, that's not how you fucking stand. And it was like, and it's a weird thing. They're trying to get you to like neutral person A or neutral person B, and the idea there is like then you can build like character on top of that.
right.
But then I was always like, no, why are you trying to erase the interesting things about people? So that they can like fabricate it later. And I think I was proven right a little bit where it's like now acting is I think a lot of casting is a bit more like this person's weird and that's what's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, what do you have that you can spin on this? Not like this exact thing in my mind that I can mold.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
more
yeah.
collaborative and people want the
just by-
random energy.
Performing, like I never went to any kind of like lessons. I didn't take any acting lessons or anything, but by performing, I've figured out that I should do less acting. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. That's
like-
the hardest thing.
yeah, because I'm even when we used to do this has helped me so much the radio drama. So I don't know if you know this part of the podcast. We're gonna perform the
Yes, of
Script,
course,
yeah.
of course.
So-
I know about what's happening.
yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like it's funnier in my head that you don't know anything.
Yeah.
It's so much funnier. 'cause
Blank
then,
slate.
yeah, that you're like, wait, what? You just got called
Hold
on
on.
this podcast.
I got to call my agent.
They said we got.
I didn't know it was going to happen.
First of all-
I did. I'm bringing a second character in.
I didn't see that coming. That's funny. First of all, whatever we write has to have that scene in it.
We need the big, but then we're spoiling the biggest turn.
Yeah, well, hey, this is the point of the podcast is they're coming with us
This
for the
is-
spoiler.
yeah,
Yeah, this
Spoiler-
is behind the
in.
curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. I didn't see that coming. But by doing the radio dramas, I used to do like voices, like to be into the character, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna be a deal and do all characters. Like I'm gonna Jason Bateman it.
Mm.
It's gonna be a deal for all the characters.
When I started doing sketch comedy specifically, I just went as big as possible all the time, just like crazy characters and stuff. And then after a while, I was like, the people I admired, I realized were people who were able to just step on stage by themselves, specifically in sketch and improv, and just be like, hello. And everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
oh, that's actually, it's so hard to like be how you are in real life on stage. Most people, I would argue most people still don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Because they feel the eyes, they feel the stage, they feel
Yeah.
the pressure, and they do something and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But I think a lot of people don't know how to just like, they start to say stuff. Like I have a friend who I won't name in case they watch this. And I've always wanted to tell them I never will. And now I'm turning this into a guessing game.
Ooh.
But this friend specifically,
How tall are they now?
whenever they act, they're 7'1". They do this thing where they like always do their eyebrow when they're like talking and figuring stuff out. But then in real life, they never, ever, ever do that.
Hmm.
And it's like, why do you do that? It's like you start when they're like, okay, now we're gonna act. People go like, and they put on a mask.
Well,
Whatever.
some
This
people
is-
I feel like want to separate because they're so worried. Like,
yeah.
they're like, oh, that's not me. Which, to your point, I think like there's a reason Daniel Day-Lewis or people like him need to exist. Like I like seeing. like,
Yeah.
But that being said, that's
People
not the
need
only way
shoes.
of acting. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And for some people, it doesn't work. Like, for example, who the people you admire? Who is that? Like, are they like actors out there?
Like local act. I was more thinking about like local actors. Like I mean, he doesn't do it anymore. But Kurt Smeaton is someone I used to watch live. Where I was
And
like,
he would
oh,
just
yeah, there you go.
naturally show up and
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Kayla Lorette, someone else who just walked on stage where you're like, oh, there, that's how that works.
yeah.
I mean,
but-
not that they can't do characters as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
but like the best comedians are people like Robert De Niro was always lauded as such a great actor, but then other people critique where you're like, he's the same guy in all the movies, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's such a skill that he's
Mm.
able
Yeah.
to do that.
It's not. You don't have to always be a camouflage into someone else. It's like bring what you have in you. Like I mean, let's talk about it. De Niro. You said Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, DiCaprio. If you talk about like the A-list movie stars for the past 3 decades. They're kind of themselves in every movie. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Unless you do Revenant, sure, and even that, I'm like, like they're like, you have to kind of take your essence and then bring it to the character.
Yeah, and that's how too. Like you could bring your essence to a character and do big things, but through your essence, people identify with you more, relate to you more, and connect with you. And you're like, oh, that guy's not a crazy person. He's more like me, but he's doing crazy things. Therefore, I'm interested.
But then there's also like that's also a harsh lesson to learn as an actor. If like, but I don't want to be myself. Like maybe I'm not that interesting on stage. It's like, yeah, maybe you're not.
Yeah,
right.
Certain people are interesting and some people aren't. In terms of like who I want to watch, experience things.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I agree with I do like performing or anything about the film industry. Like anything I do, I'm like, oh, what I love about this is it's make believe, and I don't have to be myself for a little bit. There's a part of you that's that. But that being said, it's not. I have to change myself to not be myself. It's the script is doing that already, or the situations.
Yeah.
Like if I'm doing an improv scene or a sketch scene or a scripted scene. The script is interesting. Like that's already make believe. I don't have to also now layer on a lot of facade to get away from the reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, it was like, it's like the Laurence Olivier story with Dustin Hoffman. You guys know that?
No.
It's like a famous thing in acting where it's like they were in this movie Marathon Man, which I don't remember if it's any good or not. But it's Laurence Olivier who was like, way older at this point. Like I don't know. I think it was probably the 60s or 70s, I guess. And Dustin Hoffman was so like method, and it's about someone who's a runner, and he like to feel exhausted. He like before this one shoot, he stayed up for like 2 days straight and like worked out like crazy until his feet hurt, and like just tried to like live it so that he showed up. And then the famous quote is Lawrence, and it's just like two schools of acting going against each other because Laurence Olivier was not
Just
that.
shows up. Yeah.
And his famous quote is like, "Have you tried acting?"
Ooh.
Was his suggestion.
Yeah.
And it's not that either one's right or wrong. It's just like some people are like, "Why are you doing that? What? Don't do that."
Just act.
You just
like
pretend.
his thinking, Laurence Olivier's thinking is like, just act.
Yeah, fucking method acting can be so fucking annoying.
Hey, it's funny. I hear the horror stories, but I do also enjoy the horror stories. You know what I mean? Like when I hear some of the like what they went like
Jared
Christian
Leto
Bale eating like fucking half a can of tuna a day for the machinist to get to that weight.
And it's disgusting.
Yeah,
It's
well,
awful.
and I mean, but he was that character. That being said, it's disgusting. And then that being said, Matthew McConaughey does Dallas Buyers Club. He lost all that weight, and he's like, I got a nutritionist. Like he helped me lose
Yeah.
weight. Like I did it the smart way.
Right.
And he still won an Oscar.
And then 50 Cent did it for some movie when he was trying to really be an actor.
And no one.
And it was like a dog shit movie. And you're like, wow, you really did all that for no fucking reason.
Yeah, your why needs to be pretty.
Do you guys
bad.
know? Can I tell you the funniest fucking story? Are we even blue skying right now? Or are we failing
Probably not,
failing the
but
main
listen.
task? Let me tell you the
We're already
funniest
off the road
story.
right now.
Local.
Jono's stressing. I can already
No,
see it.
I'm like,
Jono.
I got the fly trap out.
You got me here. I'm fucking riffing. I'm
Exactly.
riffing,
No,
dog.
it's good. We gotta.
I don't know if
gotta
you
make
heard this
hay.
story, but this is the best. A lot of our like people, who were at this moment, which is so funny. I believe maybe Roger was on stage at the time at Second City main stage, a number of years ago, probably 10 years ago, or more. Jared Leto was in town, and because they were about to shoot
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
or one of the movies where he played the Joker, and so he's a method actor, famously, Jared Leto, and he went to Second City to watch the show, but he like didn't announce that he was there, and he like kind of was like in disguise, and he was there to practice his like laugh.
Get the fuck
So he
out.
he was watching the Second City Toronto show, being like, or whatever his fucking laugh was.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, and then he was like treating the waitresses like shit, and then he left without paying his bill.
Oh my god!
But everybody knew he was there. He was like making a spectacle of himself while trying to blend in, doing.
That is so wild.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's so cringy.
The waitress part wasn't even Joker. That was just him.
Yeah, it wasn't. That was him
He came
not
out of
doing
character,
method.
yeah. That is so fucking insane. Yeah, see, I mean, like, there's limits, man. It's like, yeah. I again love you cared. Like Christian Bale didn't eat tuna and then go and harass
It
people.
didn't.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. He didn't like.
Like, keep it to your bubble. Like, it's your method act.
Yeah, do whatever you're gonna do. Just don't annoy other people.
Yeah.
Annoy them on camera.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, like I think Daniel Day-Lewis. I might be wrong though. There might be a story out there, but I haven't heard much negative about him because his method.
Oh, I got
is
one
still-
for you. When he did My Left Foot,
Yeah.
he played someone with cerebral palsy who was like immobile, and he used to make people carry him around. In
Oh,
between.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh goddamn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then on
Be
that
like,
note,
be like, I gotta piss. Let's go. Get a friend.
yeah.
Fuck.
Wait. He's like just chugging water.
I'm
and,
heavy.
like- yeah. Hey man, he won an Oscar for that. So
He did.
they carried an Oscar winner. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're good. Good for you. You clowns. What are you complaining about?
Insano. So all I've got so far is acting class with a lie detector.
Oh, that's good.
That
I
could
like
be
that.
something. Or like, is there like a dating system where people have their own lie detectors and they can interview each other. And
Oh wow!
I bring my own lie detector guy so I can verify yours, and they bring their own so they can verify you. I don't know where the fuck you go with that.
Yeah, like I like this concept. I'm just like, what's the?
I don't know where to take it.
conflict or the- yeah.
Like,
Or what would
do
be?
you think I look hot in this dress? I'm like, yes. I'm like, you're not lying. You're a smoke show.
Telling the truth.
It's like Key and Peele. You know, he's an angry translator. He just has a lie detector guy next to him. He's like, he's telling the truth. Yeah.
Or like, what's an interesting use for a lie detector? Or like, what would the guy who invested in way too many lie detectors before it got labeled statistically not useful? What's he going to do with all those lie detectors? Or like, what's the rebrand, the glow up of lie detectors to come back on?
If lie detectors are inadmissible in court, someone's like, I've got a real one. I've got a new one.
Is that the twist, right? In the world we're creating, they're non-inadmissible. It's like we're in our universe of this short film. It's like a world where everything is based on lie detectors.
Or it is inadmissible. Like they can't prove anything, but someone had invested way too much in them, and to go back to like just eat the cost. So they're like, what do I rebrand lie detector as? Or
it's
how do I
for job interviews? What about a job interview where you show up and the guy's like, can I ask you to do something a little unconventional as we do this job interview? Can I hook you up to this polygraph?
Yeah. And it could be like a Michael Scott or David Brent kind of boss who like wants to get compliments from people, but he thinks everyone's being fake with them. So he hooks his employees up
wanting compliments is funny.
And like he hooks his people up to lie detectors, but everyone's lying.
Do you really think I'm a good boss? And then they like answer the question.
Yeah.
Or even if it's more like just like vain than that, where it's like, so would you say that you have like a strong work ethic? Okay, yeah. And do you like my tie?
Yeah.
Every other other question is just like, can you, if you were to, do you think I'm wearing hair dye or not?
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Like slip in like vein shit. Yeah.
That could be fun. Or there's also like,
do you think my wife was right to move on with her life?
Yeah. It's this guy.
Ex-wife, sorry.
Would you do that? Yeah.
Would you leave me?
Yeah.
It's a guy who doesn't think his therapist is being honest, so he's using it to.
Oh God, polygraph test in therapy sounds immoral.
Could be some fodder in there.
Yeah.
Or is there a superpower that someone has that they can tell people are lying, or like there's a cat in this?
That's what like the Mentalist in Lie to Me is like they allegedly.
In a way, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because they're just so good at deducting that they like you can't lie to them, so it's like a superpower basically.
Yeah.
Or what if completely new idea? What if a guy is like kind of walking around and he's trying to detect if people are like laying down, and he just walks by someone on the sidewalk and they're laying down. He's like, "Yep," and then he walks away.
That guy's laying down.
He's laying down. Yeah.
Again, that's like a 20-second script. He goes by, he's laying down, and then just walks away. The lie detector, and then the lie detector.
He can listen through a door, and when they're about to a police raid, and he's like, the guy in there is laying down on the couch.
Yeah, it's still a police scenario because you think he's going to detect the lie.
What's he doing? I don't know. All I can tell, one thing I can tell you is whether or not they're lying down.
He's like this.
He's like this.
Flat on his back.
Okay, we're about to go in. Don't. He's the
still
second guy, and he's standing up near the fridge. Is he armed? I don't fucking know.
But he's standing
What's he doing? I don't know. He's standing up. That's all I know. Should I rewrite my prompts?
No, we'll get something. We'll get something. Yeah.
We're circling something, hopefully.
But it's just like where I think maybe something to think about is like where it can land at the end, because like it obviously can't just be like, yeah, they're lying, unless we think of some really great twisty way to get there. But like, what would be the ultimate outcome for someone putting someone through a lie detector test, or like is there some other aspect that we can play with that's not just coming up with a lie?
I mean, it could be
sussing.
I'm telling a lot of long-winded stories.
Please keep doing it, and don't.
Okay, I got one for you that would have been a funny scenario to have a lie detector test. So I'll try and keep this as succinct as possible. But basically, someone I know, like in a distant way, posted on Facebook that their elderly father is an art collector, and he's like getting much older and wants to like do something with the many pieces of art he collected. So he has so much that some of it is in storage. And they're like pieces that have hung in museums. And specifically, it was this one artist that they had passed away, and he had all their art. And he was like, no one's looking at it. I should do something with it. So they were like, this art should cost a lot of money, but he just wants to give it away. So if you can come pick it up, you can get it. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I drove to, I set up this meeting with this person I know, this woman and her elderly father. It's like 80. And I went to go meet them at this storage unit. This is like just 2 weeks ago. And I went to pick up the art. And before I got there, she was like, so yeah, you got to meet my dad first. I was like, yeah, great. And she's like, and you got to like sit with him and talk with him for a minute. And I was like, okay. And then I sat there and talked
the woman that you're
that I kind of know. Yeah.
That's the person you kind of know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I meet her father, and he's the most intense man. This is just a true story. There's no jokes here.
Okay.
And he said, and he was like, so you're here to like pick up the art. I'll do a voice. You're here to pick up the art, right? And I was like, yeah, great. And let me look through it and whatever. And thank you so much. And he's like, he made me sit down with him and so intensely was like, do you understand the value of art? I was like,
Oh my God.
yeah. And he's like, because it's more than just like a painting on a wall. I was like, yeah. And he went on to extol the virtue of art in life and made me like swear basically that like I'll take this art and I swear to not sell it for 20 years, and that I will display it in either a workplace or my home, and that I will pass it on to someone when I'm done with it.
So not even, he said 20 years.
Well, yeah, like within that 20 years, if I have to move or whatever,
But
I'll
after
pass it
20
on
years,
to
you
my
can sell it.
children. Yeah, he basically was like, don't sell it, but like at least 20 years, don't sell it. And like made me basically promise that I appreciate art and that I will like understand the value of what he's giving to me, and that I will respect this artist and learn about the pieces. Like he made me like pass a test to take this art that he's trying to just unload.
It's kind of awesome and so bizarre.
Yeah. It was a deeply bizarre experience.
What if
you put me up to a lie detector?
I won't sell it.
Or what if he like stalked you for the next 20 years?
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
just like looking in your windows and shit, and you're like, man, this fucking guy.
Randomly, you're like, I'm so glad we ordered that pizza. When's it gonna arrive? It's like ding dong, and I'm like, oh no, it's John, the elderly art dealer.
Just checking.
He's just checking out my house.
Art's still here.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
And he's just like camouflaging himself into my house. Sometimes he's in the wall, like
Yeah.
the wall, and he's like,
And then one day,
like, I saw you put up the piece.
you're in
Good job.
dire.
Or you just
need
hear a
for
little
money one
camera
day.
moving around in the painting. It's like the eye of fucking
Yeah.
the
Have
portrait.
And so it's also like, buddy, let go of these paintings. You're giving them away.
So then, sorry, you did get the painting.
I did. I
And
took
how
4
many?
pieces.
4, okay.
I took 4 pieces.
And are they hung
Wow.
up?
They're not hung up
You're like,
yet,
I
but
sold them.
I just got them and I haven't had a chance.
Right.
Because they
2
don't.
weeks ago.
I have to like wire them still and everything.
And are they good?
They're pretty amazing. This person who died, Sybil Goldstein, was like deeply, deeply prolific, and was quite successful in terms of being a Canadian artist, and lived a life. And their most famous pieces, they painted the roof of the Cameron House,
Oh shit.
the ceiling, I should say.
Yeah. Iconic
Wait,
roof.
so it is worth a lot
Ceiling.
of money then? Or no?
I think the pieces I have, I don't know what the second market is like in Canada,
Yeah.
but
I'd wait
they're-
20 years just so you don't get.
they're
any
very-
ideas.
I'm gonna curse on you. Yeah.
Jono, I promise I won't do anything for 20 years. They're pretty amazing, and like a couple of them are huge, like
Yeah.
massive. And there was somewhere I was like, I can't take this just because I don't know how to get it out of here.
Yeah.
She painted some pieces that are like
The size of a
7
wall.
feet by 5 feet, and you're like,
Wow.
So it's like eye level for you. Like you're just,
Yeah. they're my exact height and
And width.
It's time for me to start lying about my width.
Yeah. You kept it at 7.
Well,
You
when
can't
you're
go
a
over
professional
7.
pie eating contest contestant,
7 and 5. Jesus Christ. Fucking Yokozuna.
I'm 5 feet wide, and I'm not even obese.
When he
I'm
said earlier,
jacked.
the world's not made for people that tall. It's also not made for people that wide. So
That's true. It's a average person's world.
there's something about, sorry, you had.
I was just gonna kind of steer to a different thing, but on the same topic, obviously, of lying. Did you guys have friends when you were kids that told like really big
Yeah,
lies that
of
they couldn't
course.
back up? Like,
One of them was my brother.
yeah, like my
Big brother?
No,
No.
just it's a regular small B brother,
Small
and not even my big brother. My
You're LB.
my LB, my little brother. I have 2 little brothers.
Yeah, that's another thing. Kids lie a lot when they're young. Like
Yeah.
my aunt works for the Mortal Kombat people, and so I have an arcade game machine in my room. Someone told
Wow.
me that.
Whoa.
That one stuck with you for sure. You could tell.
It did
You
because
were
I was like
pissed.
really let down when I went there, and he's like, "Oh, it's not here today." And I'm
Oh
like,
my
"You move
God.
it? Like what?"
It's not here today.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm
what the
sent it to
hell?
the cleaners.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's the lie has to expand to ridiculous. There's a dry cleaner for box video games,
And then you believe that. And then, yeah.
yeah.
cabinet video games.
There's something there.
So
I was
and
thinking,
it
like
could
with
tell
art
one-
and lying too. It's something interesting about that with art in general, like like acting or whatever. And it's the idea of like, because art can be mostly facade in terms of like, it's not really your truth sometimes. You're just putting someone's truth up. You know what I mean? So it's like, is there something to do with art and lying? That's what that story made me think of.
Mhm.
Yeah, or like politicians being hooked up to lie detectors at
Well, that shit will
conferences,
just
and then it
blow
like
up. That
explodes. It
machine
like
will break
it just
up.
becomes a
it'll go on
weapon of
fire.
mass destruction. Or someone could like as an act of terrorism like rig a lie detector to explode if someone lies.
There
and
we
they hook
go.
it up
There's
to,
our story.
That's
and
good.
then they hook it up
There's
to
our story. A politician, it's like fucking Black Mirror. A politician gets hooked up to a lie detector, right? And we have to find a creative way of how he gets hooked up. Maybe he gets bamboozled into it. Like he's on a game show or whatever. And the game show host is like, yeah, actually, this is not whatever. We're going to ask you questions. And if this fucking needle does this shit, whatever the lying shit is,
Yeah.
this whole place will blow up. So
Yeah.
this politician has to now tell the truth.
Has to tell the truth.
Or the reverse of that, where they have to lie no matter what. And if they
To
tell
keep it
something
alive?
close to truth, I'm thinking like a speed mechanism. Where if the
Yes.
meter stops oscillating too much,
That is more interesting too, yeah.
that's harder to write and
Yeah, but that's fun.
It could be pretty
Oh, and
fun.
then now
Is it still?
the whole
it has,
point of the script today.
yeah.
How do we shoehorn? What's the thing? But I really was.
yeah.
How do you shoehorn that in? there?
Unless I did.
it. We gotta.
Yeah, we gotta find. a
And then
plan.
he could do that, and then it just cuts outside,
And
and the
that's when
building
it blows
explodes. Yeah.
My little brother once he showed up. He was like 7 or 8, and he showed up with a broken collarbone at home, and we're all like, "What the fuck happened? You just walked home from like across the street or like down the street." And he was like, I went to the park and I went off the slide and I went so fast off the slide I flung myself that I went right off and I flew like 6 or 7 feet and landed over here and broke my collarbone. And we're like, that's an incredible achievement in physics that
Yeah.
you did this. And we believed it for 10 years. And then one day at like a family thing, someone brought it up. We're like, remember that whole story about like you flung yourself off the slide so fast because it was wet and raining and you like, and he was like, oh yeah, that never happened. Like, what happened? He's like, tripped on a rock. They're like, oh, great.
I love that in
Is
that
is
scene, while crying, he was like, I gotta get the story.
Like
That's
deeply elaborate details.
Yeah. What does he
Like,
do now?
He's a clown at a hospital.
There you go. Wait, what?
He's a clown at a
wonderful
hospital,
man.
like Patch
Okay.
Adams.
Like, literally.
Not being
Yeah.
a doctor. Yeah, he's a literal at Sick Kids Hospital.
That's amazing. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing job.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
very,
He's literally
very-
bringing laughter to sick kids.
Yeah, he's doing God's work.
Yeah,
for
oh
sure.
my
Yeah,
God, man.
we're here
Kids
doing
in
this stupid
palliative care.
podcast.
Like
and,
I wanted to laugh when you said that. Like,
Freddie's
I don't
doing
get it.
the
And then
real
like, no,
work.
that's actually
No, there's no
pure. Yeah,
funny
there's no-
about it.
Yeah,
It's like so honorable.
that's wild.
Also, that can't be our short because that's his story to tell.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's okay. Well,
But yes, that's true.
I feel like he's doing that to repent for that lie.
Yeah.
He's
deep
doing-
guilt about.
Yeah, for lying about the collarbone. I like this idea personally. Something
Yep.
about speed with lie detector, where it's like if something happens,
Whether
to
it's
this,
truth or lie.
yeah, like the lie detector. Exactly. If you tell the truth, the place will blow up, or if you tell the lie, let's pick that side of the coin.
Mhm.
But I like a politician. It's very Black Mirror, Hated in the Nation episode with the pig fucking. Did you see that?
Yeah.
one?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
The best one, probably.
one of the craziest. I actually watched that like really late. Like I watched all of Black Mirror, and then my friend's like, "You never watched the first one?" I'm like, I heard about pig fucking. I don't want to watch that. And then I watched it. I'm like, this probably was one of the best.
You're like,
ones.
maybe I'm into pig fucking.
Yeah.
I swear I'm not into pig fucking. Yes, I am.
It's like my favorite shtick now.
Two politicians hooked up to lie detectors during a debate is almost fun.
Well, what if it's that too? That could, instead of a game show, it's like the debate, and they basically say this is the only way we're going to find out what's going to happen is either of you tells a lie.
Mhm,
You know?
mhm.
And then at the end, the guy who says that there's a bomb in the lie detector was
Or
like,
is
I
there?
was lying.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. It's the moderator the whole time.
Yeah.
It was the moderator the whole time. The oldest trick in the writing book.
It's always a moderator.
It's always the debate
It's always
moderator.
the debate moderator. Yeah. Okay, I like this. I like where we're headed with this. Finally, we got something. That's what happens. It's a little spark.
All right.
So like, how do we set that up? Let's think about some beats.
Do we
Maybe
like
if we
two
like that. We
politicians
want
or
to
one?
move forward.
Actually,
Well, if there's the three of us, right? We got a moderator and 2 politicians.
Yeah.
Right. So we got the right number of
yeah.
casts.
That's how we write. How many people we got in this room? Let's write for the cast. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Maybe just like for this purpose though, like we can make instead of making it politics about like what's going on in the world right now or something, we can more tie it to something
Alien
fantastical
politics?
or
What
Yeah.
if it's in,
or just ridiculous.
yeah,
Or
like the campaign with Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, where we can just highlight a very specific problem that a city or nation is going through
Yeah.
and like how they're going to solve it. You know, just so we don't have to start talking
No,
about like,
for sure.
fascism or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but cool,
yeah,
not being
yeah.
nonfiction. Yeah. Okay, so to begin with, we like 2 politicians. Let me write this down. I think you probably did somewhere. Yeah, 2 politicians. Do we like the idea that this moderator is this evil good guy genius that's basically like, you have to tell the fucking truth? Like, do we?
How do we?
That just makes more sense to
I
me.
kind of like that,
'Cause
but
it's like-
how do we like? How do they get to that position of power to be the moderator only to?
Well, that,
we got to
again, not
we
to be
got
that guy, but in the short film,
Does it
should just
matter?
start with that, and then we can do a little spiel later on where he says who he really is, like, I was your campaign manager and you fucked me over, or some shit that people want. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's really like about this scene. That's what the short's about. It's about this.
I told you my name was Jono and you called me John.
And I've been fucking.
You called me Jono.
Yeah, it's not Jono.
Hey, you're listening to the podcast with Jono, Adil, and Miguel.
There it is. Find that slug. Okay. Two politicians.
Two politicians.
They have to tell the truth.
Entering a debate. The topic can be something fun or fantastical, like should dogs be able to pee in public? That kind of thing. Or
well, the thing is, as much as I'm down to not make it about real politics, it's like, to make it more intense, why they want to lie. It's more about those things, right? Like, what are they telling the truth about? Is it about their, like, it doesn't have to be about policies even, right? It could be about, like, why is this guy such a piece of shit?
Could it be like their political
mistresses? Is it like
their
their
political
personal
opponents, but they're actually secret lovers?
Ooh.
And like, it come out with that, like, what do you hate most about your opponent? And it comes out, that kind of takes away the immediacy of the bomb going off. But
yeah, because to tell someone that, if you don't tell the truth, the bomb will go off. The truth must be pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Do we make these two politicians really evil? Is the question. Like, do we make them what questions are they being asked that they don't want to tell the truth for?
How tall they are?
Yeah.
And that's when it blows up. That's the last question. They say the truth about everything.
Yeah.
I have a mistress. I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. And then the last question is like, how tall are you? And he says the wrong number. And they blow
Just goes, and then he cut it outside.
Well, I don't think I technically qualify as a short king. Maybe in some people's eyes. But in general, I feel like I'm closer to average.
Yeah, that's good too. That it's not just like lies. It's like, it's how far your lie goes that it blows up.
Yeah.
It's a little, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Or like,
Yeah.
just fix it. All right.
I'm just making note of that lie detector sound effect because I might use that
Yeah,
for
that's
the
fine.
radio drama.
that's not what they sound like at all, but in our world.
In our world.
That's how you know if they're lying.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Two politicians. I like that there's a speed quality to it. Is there something to, like, this person, is this is a weird pitch, but it's like, what if the moderator is like the legitimate son of this politician?
Or that could be it. Or that's interesting. But maybe the debate's happening. Sorry, I just kind of have an idea for another scene. Debate's happening, like we needle drop into it, it's just happening already.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, guys crash in through the thing with ropes and shit, and they're like, everyone stop, and like there's a villain named like Dr. Fib or something who's like, now you all have to fucking put on the lie detector and fucking blah, blah, blah. And then, so someone comes in and imposes this thing.
Yeah. Again, I'm just doing that thing where it's like, that's a page and a half of just doing that. And so I know it's like, what's the,
just brutally
how many
described.
pages do these shorts usually end up?
like,
some have been
5
15.
Yeah.
We try and keep them short, but sometimes.
But I don't want today to go so long because we also have like a hard out. So it's like, I don't want to be a 15-page script.
We'll make it to 5. We're going to be fine.
All right.
We're going to be
But
fine.
usually it's like 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Pages.
Okay. All right.
We're not super precious, but try and keep it as short as possible. But
I just find those
efficiency of language.
Ones.
That's what we like.
Yeah,
But it could just be like, we're here for the debate and blah, blah, blah. First question goes to this. And it's like, oh, Doc, Mister, what would you,
Doc,
what would you say about this thing? And then everyone smashes in and takes it over. And then it becomes that immediately. But
we can make it like a supervillain who has like a legitimate point, where they're just like, but they can also be a fun, fantastical character. Like, I'm so sick of politicians lying to me and everybody. I want the truth.
And I'm going to use the only reliable source of detection.
A polygraph.
A polygraph.
A polygraph that physically moves like it's a 50s machine.
Yes.
It's his voice doing the effect.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Fib, but you can call me doodle-doodle-doo.
Do we, like, I'm thinking of Speed, for example. How does it end? They probably kill the bad guy? Like, I can't remember how it ends. Do you remember? Speed 1?
The bus is still going, and so is the boat. It's never stopped.
To this
It's
day.
still out there going, yeah.
Yeah. If you go to Paramount Studios, you can
It's
ride
just-
the bus.
Yeah, and you can knock it off.
That'd be hilarious being
get
on
off,
the thing.
it's
and
dangerous.
Everyone dive, and the bus comes, and they have to like leave the fucking
And
tour.
like that tour guy just like, so on the right here, you'll see this is where they film. Oh my god, dive! And then just like move out of the way.
Yeah.
What if it's they have to? Because I'm just trying to think again, like a bit ahead in the ending. Is it like, we want to go this route that the villain is there, but there's another guy like controlling it in like a control room of whatever, and the hero, the spy, the protagonist has to go and get him. So there's like a mission happening in the background while this is happening. There's two
No.
things happening.
I think you could just kind of keep it. Maybe,
Just keep-
maybe.
Well,
I mean,
just-
I'm
don't
open
know what
to
the
it, but
ending is, but I guess the ending is.
Yeah, and did we want the whole short to just be in one room is the other. That's
bottle?
Yeah, that'd be
which
cool.
Is not bad, yeah.
then the ending can just lead to we could do someone lies
Just a
about their
lie,
height,
and
just
then-
something really innocuous, or
And then
it could be a morality play. Like if you get caught lying, the machine will explode. But then they do, and they lie in the end, and then it stops. Tick, 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 and then nothing happens. And then the bad guy's like, the lesson all along was honesty.
yeah.
It's like a huge lame twist at the end. So next time, think, what do you mean I'm going to jail?
yeah.
Or if you also want to double down on that shtick you've been doing, where it's like it was all along just a thing to get you to tell the truth. It's like, really, or was it? And he presses the bomb, and then it still blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way, I like that at first, so you think nothing's gonna happen, and then it either stays like that, or then he just blows the place up.
But there is that could be a funny moment of like, there's an audience there and everyone's like just like, and it's like the lesson was, and it's just very quiet and he's isolated.
Anticlimactic, kind of. Yeah.
Don't lie. It's like
the sound effect of like it's a room. There's a room full of people watching, but the sound effect after he gives his big, this is what the lesson was. Is like three people like.
Very scarce.
It's like, so you did all this because you just wanted to get out this message that you feel is important, which is telling the truth is good.
Wait, earlier, what did you say?
Is there more to it? There's nothing more to it? Okay. No.
Lean
Great
into
scheme. Great scheme.
But no, earlier you said someone gets arrested. Were you saying the politicians?
No, I'm saying the debate
guy.
moderator.
that was
yeah,
really
yeah.
funny. Yeah, he goes, wait, what are you doing? Yeah.
He's like, I thought I was doing God's work.
And that's like the moral really is, even though they
I
told
thought I
the
was doing
truth,
God Murphy's work.
even though they were telling the truth, he's the one and admitted to so many bullshits. He's the one that gets arrested.
Yeah.
Because he was the criminal.
because it was a stupid scheme that
Even though they
disrupted.
totally accepted everything and they still get away. That's the reality, or the sad reality.
Yeah.
And this is like your podcast's commentary on the state of electoral politics, right?
Exactly.
But kind of is timely.
And polygraphs.
And polygraphs. Ooh.
Bring them back.
Yeah. Hashtag bring back polygraphs.
So
You are not the father.
So we look.
Wait, Jerry Springer probably uses them, right? Or Maury?
I think
Lie
they did use those
detectors?
on some of those shows,
I'm
like
sure
Maury
they did,
Povich or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. Maybe before DNA tests were like a thing you could get done in a couple of weeks.
Even though
they
DNA
did
tests are all, like, especially are also like unreliable as well.
Right.
Really?
Oh yeah. They're
Nothing's
large,
real.
especially when they first started. People barely understood them, so they were used in all kinds of court cases that got people put behind bars. And then
Oh,
people
fuck.
had no idea what was going on or like how it worked.
Oof.
Goddamn.
not
Into the
good,
history of legal
Yeah.
mishaps.
So loose beats, debate, guy crashes it. Like we set up the debate, a guy crashes it. He hooks the politicians up to a lie detector test, makes them tell the truth or lie or whatever. That escalates until it ultimately a lie is told, but it doesn't go off. He gives the sort of come down speech and then gets arrested.
Yeah. Now you have to do the beats, what he just said, to see.
The beats are there's a debate going on, and then a supervillain named Doot Doot Doo, which is basically Nardwuar.
Oh my God, it's Nardwuar. He knows everything about them.
yeah. He researched everything, so you can't lie to him. Oh my! I lied
do
in
we
the
have-
episode, but it's Nardwuar.
Do we have a new?
Oh, he takes the mask off at the end.
Yeah, someone watched the Nardwuar videos and it was just like, this guy needs to be put into like real police work.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
Oh my God! Imagine Nardwuar on a case.
Detective
Yeah.
Nardwuar.
it's also like using him as, because have you seen the new Sinners movie where they use the villain inspirations from Puss in Boots?
No.
So our villain inspiration is Nardwuar.
Mm,
We'll definitely put that in there.
okay.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, sorry, go on. And then what happens? Nardwuar comes in.
Nardwuar comes in and he says the politicians are lying too much, and
This is after handing out a bunch of vinyl.
Yeah. he brings them each 3 gifts and gifts from their past.
Yeah.
And he hooks them up to a lie detector to make them tell the
politicians.
truth. And he says to the politicians, if they lie, that the lie detectors are hooked up to bombs that will explode and everyone in this room will die, and he's willing to die for the cause of honesty. And
He wants fair he wants a fucking fair election for once. God damn it. God, Jesus Murphy, damn it.
I forget if you wrote this down, but meanwhile, like based on your earlier point, there's a rogue cop outside who believes in lying. And he's going to break.
Okay, that's not interesting actually. But no, we're going to cut that part.
And he does a dumb speech about the morality of what he was doing when the bomb doesn't actually go off. And no one's impressed, and it's anticlimactic, and he gets arrested. And the politicians, they win as they always do.
Even though they already accepted to all the crimes and bullshit they've done.
Yeah, so he makes them admit how they got to where they are.
Yeah.
Which is the substance of them being hooked up to the machine.
Because we haven't discussed that. That'll be in the like when we write the script, we'll figure that out. But this, we haven't figured out what these like truths are that they say that are diabolical and like, you know, did you actually put sewage water in everyone's faucets or some shit?
How do you really want society to be?
Yeah. And then he tries to answer fake and it starts moving and he's like, oh, okay, fine. I want to be at the total power of it. And I want like, you know, everyone.
Yeah. And you see it like going up.
Yeah. And then he has to be
slowing
honest,
down.
Right?
And
this is sounding, this is like sounding like a downright philosophical short at some point.
Yeah.
This is Seventh Seal going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we gotta, I do think, ingest like the villain Die Hard arc, the comedy a little bit, so it's easily digestible because it's pretty fucking deep, actually.
Yeah, we'll make
sad.
If it turns out deep and sad, that could be interesting.
Whoa!
But we'll have some jokes. It's going to be funny.
Come on,
we cannot. Yeah.
We've tried to be dramatic.
Be the
before.
most serious.
Have you tried to do fully dramatic?
We've tried.
What's the most closest thing we've gone to?
Fucked if I remember. I don't know anymore. But well, we tried to do that with Emily with the Black Mirror thing. We tried to be serious.
Yeah, that wasn't that funny. I mean,
it was super funny in the end, wasn't it? Or
no, what I mean is like it wasn't trying to be funny. It was just like dramatic, and it was like
we always end up doing it. All right. Well,
Nardwuar villain inspiration. Make sure we get that in there.
I think that makes it funny right away. I like that he comes in and gives gifts, the vinyls and shit. Okay, cool.
All right, great. Let's see what happens. Let's go write it.
All right.
And now, the lie detector. Interior of the debate hall day. Two politicians, Stephen Candida, 50s, super white, and Michael Fibonacci, 70s, super white, stand behind their podiums. The mediator addresses the crowd.
And welcome back to the mayoral debate of the century. Stephen Candida, who lived with his family on Seymour Street his entire life.
Hello?
And Michael Fibonacci, who was a Main Street stalwart. Greetings, thanks for having me.
Hey, we agreed to one-word hellos.
That's just how I talk, okay?
He smiles. The mediator speaks again.
Whoa, not yet, gentlemen. Today, these two fine men will go toe-to-toe to tell you fine folks how they plan to run the city.
A sudden crash from above as the skylights explode. Glass shards fall onto the audience. Multiple men in black military fatigues rappel down ropes, assault rifles at the ready. The doors in the back of the room burst open and we hear the squeaky voice of Thomas Dowding, 30s, echo into the room.
Thank you, Mr. Mediator. If that is your real name, I'll take it from here.
The mediator looks back, confused. The audience is in shock.
What in Jesus, Murphy?
The business end of an automatic weapon is thrust into the mediator's head and he collapses. One of Thomas's henchmen tossed the mediator from his podium.
Great citizens of this misguided town. Don't worry, you'll still get what you came for, a debate. Except for once, no lies shall be told. No lies shall be told!
Two henchmen grab the mayoral candidates and hook them up to a polygraph. The crowd gasps. Thomas gathers himself.
Now, these two esteemed candidates will be forced to undergo an infallible test of will and intent. A lie detector test.
Henchmen fit Michael Fibonacci with electrodes, but he resists, unsuccessfully.
Gentlemen, there is no use. No one leaves here until you speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but it.
Stephen Candida protests. How dare you? When I'm mayor, I will have you arrested. Michael Fibonacci interjects.
Bullshit, okay? I'm the only one capable of bringing this man to justice.
Bullshit! That's the one thing it won't be. For this is no ordinary polygraph. If either one of you tells a single lie...
He looks around at the terrified audience for effect.
Boom! We all die.
He imitates an explosion with his hands. The audience gasps again. Thomas patronizes the audience.
Oh no! You'll be okay though, won't you? Your would-be leaders would never tell a fib. Now would you?
Never. The lie detector buzzes.
Impossible.
The polygraph buzzes again.
2 lies out of the gate. You're off to a bad start, gentlemen.
But if we just lied?
And the machine didn't blow up.
Silence! Just, my speech isn't over.
Thomas gathers himself.
An honest debate.
Thomas smiles. A long beat as the room waits for him to finish.
Okay, I'm done. I know that sounded like the beginning of a sentence, but it was the end.
Another beat.
Right off the bat, I have something for you, Stephen.
He holds up a small ID card. Wait, is that my driver's license?
Mr. Candida, what street do you live on?
Excuse me?
It's a simple question. The name of your street that you and your family lived on for your entire life. What is the name again?
What kind of question is that?
Oh, don't worry. We'll get to the nail biters soon.
Steve Candida scoffs. I lived on Seymour Street. The polygraph needle begins to wave. Steve's eyes widen. What's going on?
I don't know, but it looks like you told a lie. And as you can see, if the needle reaches the edges of the paper, it'll ignite the match that's connected to all of that dynamite.
Steve's eyes follow the length of wire that runs from his electrodes to the polygraph to a pile of dynamite.
This seems pretty involved.
Well, what did you expect from the most sophisticated truth machine of our time?
Aren't polygraphs considered moot in court?
That depends.
Another long beat.
So Seymour Street, is it? Or was it Seaman Street?
How did you know that?
Because you're the mayoral candidate. We have to know.
The polygraph needle moves faster. Stephen buckles under the pressure. Okay, fine. It was Seaman Street. Seaman Street. Tears in his eyes, he looks down to see the polygraph test has calmed down. I was a sensitive kid. I didn't think I was hurting anyone.
You liar! Now that we've proven that my methods are foolproof, Mr. Fibonacci.
Michael winces.
Listen, man, this is not the way to do this. We need to have a proper debate.
You had that chance, Mr. Fibonacci, and you blew it.
Thomas breathes to bring back his composure. He takes out a paper and shows it to Michael.
What is this?
You read it.
Michael reads the paper.
It's a voting record from a city council meeting last year.
That's right. It's a list of yays and nays for the city council vote on the children's breakfast program for schools. Now, what does it say beside your name? Have a read right there. Yay or nay?
Michael looks again.
Neither. I was absent from this vote.
The audience begins to murmur.
How interesting, Mr. Fibonacci. And why is that you were absent?
I was busy.
The needle begins to waver.
Haven't we learned this already? Do you want to try your luck with all that dynamite?
All right, fine. I didn't want to vote for it. Okay, I think children are getting too fat, especially boys. I was just looking out for those chunky little ones.
The audience is appalled. Michael begins to sob. Steve jumps in. Why are you doing this to us? For the love of Jesus H. Christ.
Keep your composure, Mr. Candida. You're not out of the frying pan just yet.
Thomas smiles.
Actually, this next one is for both of you.
Steve and Michael give each other a concerned look.
Is it true that you two have been lying to everyone? And that you're actually in cahoots?
The audience gasps.
You two want to sell the town so it can be flattened and turned into a super casino.
The needle twitches. Thomas turns around to the audience who are starting to panic.
That's correct. These two rivals aren't so different after all. They both work for the same master.
It's not true.
I would never.
The needle begins to wave uncontrollably. The wick of the dynamite lights up and it slowly gets closer to the end.
You will kill us all with those lies.
Both Mike and Steve begin to whimper. The crowd turns into an angry mob.
Gentlemen, tell the truth.
All right, fine. The needle stops shaking.
Okay, we are. Okay, we're in cahoots. Okay, and we also kissed once.
Michael.
Well, he would have found out eventually.
Well, I never wanted to lie about that. I wanted everyone to know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna tell Teresa the truth?
Of course. They look into each other's eyes longingly. The needle stops moving.
Do you see?
Thomas turns to the audience again.
Do you see? The truth prevailed, and we...
Just then, from the already broken skylight, a SWAT team enters, disarming Thomas's henchmen.
Right on time. Take him away, boys.
A SWAT officer comes in and cuffs Thomas.
Oh, hey, what are you doing? They're the liars.
The SWAT officer doesn't give him an inch.
Lying isn't a crime. Threatening to blow up the town is.
What? But that's literally what these men are doing.
They look over at Stephen and Michael as they embrace.
They look pretty wholesome to me.
Thomas stomps his feet.
Oh, this is bullshit.
Fade to black. Fade in, exterior casino, months and months later. Michael and Stephen stand with their arms linked together outside a newly built super casino. Together, they snip the ribbon, their love unabashedly on display to the world. Cut to interior prison rec room meanwhile. Thomas watches the casino opening on a television. He shakes his head in defeat. A tatted up inmate sits next to him.
Can't believe they leveled a whole town for that super casino. World's going to shit.
Thomas nods.
I had a plan to fix it, but my plan failed.
Back on the TV, Michael and Steven kiss. Thomas smiles.
Or did it?
A long beat. The inmate turns to him.
Why do you talk like that?
Finn!
In conclusion,
All right, so Nardwuar made it in.
I love the, what is it? You're the mayoral candidate. We have to now. That's a great line. How was that for you?
that was fun. I feel like I did a slightly better Nardwuar impression than I thought
It was
I
good.
gonna do.
Yeah,
it
you
held
really
up
locked
good.
in.
and out, but
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was like the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker and Nardwuar combined to me.
Mhm.
It was like the mixture.
I did have the Joker hitting the button and the hospital not exploding
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
head when he was
yeah.
doing that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know how Nardwuar got into the mix. Because I
Yeah,
can't
what
remember
point
where
did we
he
bring
came
up
up. Where did he come
we were
in?
talking about lying and like lie detection.
Maybe
Huh.
someone being mean to Nardwuar? I don't know.
yeah.
But
Was it even on the podcast or like on the speaking part? Or was
I don't
it,
know.
like, during
Because
the writing?
if
I think it was.
we'll find out, I guess. But
Yeah, well, I remember
if we weren't talking about Nardwuar before this,
Now we are.
Nardwuar is heavily featured in this. Or
Yeah.
Nardwar's cousin
inspired.
Thomas.
He's
We
a
can
Thomas
big
tag-
inspiration.
We can tag him, and he will comment. He's
will.
a very online person.
Thanks for the support. I just want to get a do.
Oh, we didn't do the explosion noise either.
Yeah,
We missed that.
We want to have a.
I feel
a
like we tipped
tagline.
our hat enough to this beat.
Yeah, yeah.
We tipped now. Nardwar's had enough. Yeah. This was probably one of our more dialogue heavy scripts, which I kind of loved. It
I
was
do
all,
like that. I like
like
bantery in it. in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah, as soon as we were midway through it, I was like, oh, this is like a heavy performance piece for me.
yeah, but it's so fun. It was like all about the like the monologues, the little like things you were having there. No, I liked that. I enjoyed that. It was like because usually our scripts are a lot of like from we start here, then we go here, then cut to this room, then cut to this city, then cut to this. But this was like very self-contained.
Yeah.
And even though this is so silly, if we were writing a second draft, the one thing I would tweak is like just finessing the turns of when like Michael and Steve like go like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Or like their fear. I don't know. Just like a couple.
No.
If I was trying,
A lot
I'm
more-
taking this like so seriously as if
No
it's like
way.
the silliest script of all time.
We hey man, it could be a film. I don't know. We used to do that a lot. We used to do like one of our in conclusion things was what wouldn't you like or what would you change about the script? So for you, I guess that's one of them.
If we were like trying to make this go viral, making this short, and I feel like its life would be online on like TikTok or something,
Yeah.
and we would maybe a way to do it would be to like literally make it like Nardwuar as a supervillain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
fully make it just
The
obviously
whole,
Nardwuar.
yeah.
But I do like the idea of you were joking about of like a jacked up
Yeah.
Marvel Nardwuar.
Yeah.
It's the same
skin-tight
clothes, the
suit, yeah.
Scottish kilt,
thing-
the
yeah,
fucking thing.
Just the
but
hat
he's-
is still there, but then he's like
yeah.
He's jacked and the sleeves are torn because
Yeah.
he got too jacked with the clothes
It's
on.
Batista. It's Batista playing Nardwuar.
Yeah,
Like, imagine
yeah.
that.
That's
yeah,
funny.
exactly.
But could you imagine this being a feature where it's just like a fucking bottle movie
Hour and
this
a half
thing,
or
hour and a
what,
half
yeah.
of like this weird fucking lie detector debate?
Yeah,
That would
yeah,
be completely insane.
That was another inspiration. I think it was off camera or off thing where I was like Bane. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that idea
yeah,
of
yeah.
that. The whole
The,
like
the big entrance visual is.
I can't,
is
yeah, I really like that a lot. It was just behind him. You don't see his face yet, Nardwuar. You just see Jack Nardwuar.
was born in esotericism.
great.
You merely adopted it.
All right,
So let's look at some other prompts.
see
Let's
what
see
else-
what we could have.
at. Another one Miguel had written was hot yoga.
Oh,
You're just talking You're just talking about that guy sweating in the room.
Oh yeah,
That
the
big guy.
tall dude.
oh yeah.
And then it's funny if you now whatever prompt I pick, I'm like imagining what if we somehow
Yeah, I'm like,
put
I'm
Nardwuar
starting-
in there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
hot yoga, but Nardwuar.
This is a new podcast, the
Yeah.
Nardwuar series. The
Imagine
If we're ever in like a pinch and we're like we can't think of an idea,
Just do a
put
Nardwuar
in there,
voice.
dude.
Yeah. Imagine him leading a yoga class. It's like, and meet me in Down Dog.
Yeah, hot yoga. He's still in that those clothes, just sweating through the.
I brought you blocks.
Dust Bowl family.
Oh, like
What's that?
the
like
Dust
Great
Bowl.
Depression Dust Bowl.
You can't plant nothing
I
because it's
forget
just
why that
desert
came
sandstorm stuff. What's the game? Ken Burns did a big documentary
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
yeah. I recently was was watching Mad Men again for some reason.
So good,
And there's
man.
like flashbacks to him in like the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Also, I'm reading Grapes of Wrath, so I'm thinking.
Oh,
about
I've never read that. I gotta check that.
Is that Steinbeck?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I read East
Steinbeck,
of Eden,
y'all.
and it was the best. I've never read Grapes of Wrath, so I'm like, I'm gonna read Grapes of Wrath.
Can you? Is Grape? Okay, what's the movie? There has to be a movie out there that is Grapes of Wrath. I'm guessing, like a remake. modern
What's
version.
eating
There
Gilbert
must be.
Grapes of Wrath?
That's good.
Grapes of Wrath of Khan.
That's good. I can't think of any. Sorry.
The grape. I got nothing.
Oh,
I was gonna
Grape-
trying to get the grape escape in there, but it didn't. I couldn't
that
put
was
the other
great.
words
The Grape
in there.
Escape. I love that.
The Great Wrathscape. No, that's nothing. Read the next one.
I like this one. Call center team meeting.
Oh,
That's really good.
Yeah, a boss being like, "Hey guys,
And yeah,
realize we got to talk about the script."
yeah.
I worked in a call center. Did you guys?
Same,
have,
yeah.
You know, have the book script
Yeah,
of like, if
yeah.
this person says this, then
You
you
change
say
your thing,
this.
yeah.
That'd be funny, like a guy, like an old school call center guy who's like dealing with the woke language now, and he's like
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
go
yeah,
through
yeah.
the books, like we can't say this
There you go.
anymore.
He's like trying to be Glenn. You've seen Glenn Ross?
Yeah.
Like the whole like like the amount of swearing and like non-Gen Z energy in that. He's trying to bring it, but he just keeps getting like pushback or
Yeah.
just can't do it.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Living vicariously through your kids.
Aw.
That was just a personal one?
No,
or?
I was thinking about the sports thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like you don't make it, so you're a kid. So like
That's
Your
all you
kid,
want
your
is
kid
not-
has
thinking
to,
about
or else you have
your
failed.
parents being like,
Yeah.
not caring what you do, like, they don't care about it.
yeah. And then this last one.
Yeah, I didn't pick genres. I tried to be weird.
Oh, that's
That's good. The weird shit is
The last
best.
one is the
like,
same one.
I like where the prompts have been going lately because they
Yeah.
just give us more.
This one
shit
was
to deal
interesting, man, because like there was a part where we were just like free falling. Like I had no idea what the script was gonna be for like 20 minutes. We were just like trying to figure it out. And then it was you. I think you said something about like politicians.
The terrorist thing or something.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
'Cause
Debate.
that's like
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mine just turned into like my prompts. I'm now realizing were all just like scene settings.
Yeah.
Even lie detector. The only one that's like a genre is Dust Bowl family. Because if you think of like, because that's like Great Depression era family, you're like, okay, that's a whole genre.
Yeah.
Call center team meeting. I mean, which is fun though. It's like a bottle film again. It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
that meeting.
I want to
to
see a call center team meeting
Yeah.
in the Dust Bowl during
while doing hot yoga.
during that thing.
Yeah.
That should be eventually just
While
take
the
all
phone lines are
prompts and,
down.
like
Yeah.
make them
The other thing I was thinking for the call center thing, my head started running with this script idea where it's like someone calling someone to sell or try and get donations from them, whatever, and they have to stick to the script. Maybe you start with the boss being like, no matter what this person says, you stick to the script, and then you call someone in there in like a deep
Yeah.
emergency situation.
Oh, that's good.
And your reactions are still
Your
like,
reaction is like, even you're trying to help them, but you're
Yeah.
like flipping through the book,
Yeah.
like.
Well, have you tried?
Yeah. And I was soliciting donations for a hospital,
Oh,
so you'd be like trying to just give them information
Yeah,
about
yeah,
a
yeah.
hospital they could go to.
wow. And
That's
trying
so
to find a
funny.
way to
The
give
person's
them
like,
real-
no, he's bleeding. How do you make a tourniquet?
Well, actually,
Sunnybrook Hospital is the staff at Sunnybrook Hospital can't do it without your support.
they can't do a tourniquet without my support. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Can't have a real conversation.
Help me!
Or seeing that same call center employee on a date, and he's just so used to scripts that that's how he like deals with
Oh,
dates or
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
That's funny.
Love it.
All right.
Well,
All right.
Anything
That
else
was great.
to add or plug?
anything
or?
to plug?
No, I mean Hot Globe. Check
Hot
out
Globe.
Hot Globe.
Everyone watch Hot Globe.
Do
We need the numbers. Give us the numbers. All right.
This
All right,
was fun.
Thanks for
Miguel,
thanks for coming.
you're
It was
awesome.
great. It
That was
fun.
so great.
Thanks for having me.
Great energy.
If you do more Nardwuar stuff, I'll come back.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
your episodes will always be
We'll do
Nardwuar related.
sequels, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Supervillain Nardwuar
Yeah,
fits
yeah.
really easily.
Franchise much? I think so.
All right, everyone.
right.
Doot doodaloot doo.
Do.
No Rewrites is produced by Adil Shamsi and Jono Hunter. Edited by Justin Stevenson. Sound designed by Aaron Harastovic. Some additional voices performed by Katie Trudeau. If you have an idea for a prompt, email us at norewritespodcast@gmail.com or DM us at No Rewrites Podcast on Instagram. No Rewrites is an independent show, so please make sure to like and subscribe and tell your friends, please. Thank you.